Good evening. After China accused the Philippines of intrusion, the Department of Foreign Affairs insists it is China that is intruding in Philippine waters. The DFA issued a statement days after Southern Theater Command of the Chinese People's Liberation Army claimed that BRP Conrado Yap quote-unquote intruded in the waters near Bajo de Masinloc. According to DFA, China's allegation has no legal basis and only serves to raise tensions in the West Philippine Sea, emphasizing that Bajo de Masinloc is an integral part of the Philippine territory. The department says there is no need for the country to seek approval from other nations when its vessels are navigating inside its own territorial sea. The DFA says the Philippines' conduct of maritime patrols in the waters around Bajo de Masinloc is a legitimate and routine act of a sovereign country in its territory and territorial sea. DFA likewise reminds Chinese authorities that its interference with Philippine vessels and harassment and intimidation of Filipino fishermen, among other acts proving their aggression in Philippine waters, are blatant violations of international law. In 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration decided that the Philippines has exclusive sovereign rights over the West Philippine Sea and that China's 9-line is invalid. The toll rate for the South Luzon Expressway or SLEX and the Muntinlupa-Cavite Expressway or MCX will increase starting November 3. The Toll Regulatory Board announces that starting Friday, motorists traveling from Alabang to Calamba along SLEX will pay an additional 10 pesos for Class 1, 20 pesos for Class 2, and 30 pesos for Class 3 vehicles. On the other hand, vehicles traveling from Calamba to Santo Tomas, Batangas will pay an additional 4 pesos for Class 1, 6 pesos for Class 2, and 8 pesos for Class 3 vehicles. According to the TRB, the increase is based on the petitions on periodic toll rate adjustments for 2012 and 2014. Meanwhile, drivers traveling through MCX will now pay 18 pesos for Class 1 vehicles, 37 pesos for Class 2 vehicles, and 55 pesos for Class 3 vehicles. MCX says the provisional increase is pursuant to the petitions for toll rate adjustments for 2018 and 2020. The Commission on Elections says it has so far suspended the proclamation of 92 winning candidates in the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. The number belongs to the 253 candidates for whom the Comelec has ordered the suspension of the proclamation as they face petitions against their candidacies in the Barangay and SK elections. Of this number, 106 lost the elections. To recall, on October 24, the Comelec approved a resolution allowing the suspension of the proclamation of 2023 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections winners with pending petitions such as petition to deny due course or to cancel the certificate of candidacy, petition to declare a nuisance candidate, or petition for disqualification until further orders from the Commission. Commission on Elections says it had no budget for the overtime pay of teachers who served in the recent Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. According to Comelec Chairman George Garcia, while the Commission would like to give the teachers overtime pay, there is a joint circular from the Commission on Audit and the Department of Budget and Management which states that only employees of an agency are entitled to claim overtime. Garcia says the teachers who served as electoral board members are not employees of Comelec. However, the Department of Budget and Management says Comelec has the fiscal autonomy to give overtime pay to teachers for the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. In a message to INQUIRER.net, the DBM explains that the allocation for overtime pay under the Comelec's Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections budget is for Comelec personnel. However, since Comelec has fiscal autonomy, the DBM says it defers to the Election Commission's decision should they wish to provide overtime pay to the teachers who served during the elections. In response, Garcia says that as much as they wanted to grant overtime pay, the agency did not have the funds to do so. The Teachers' Dignity Coalition had appealed to the Comelec to grant teachers overtime pay for working non-stop for more than 24 hours. The TDC has appealed to allow overtime pay for teachers, saying that some have reached around 30 hours of work for the elections. A magnitude 5.6 earthquake strikes the coast of eastern Samar on Thursday afternoon, All Souls Day. According to the PHIVOLCS, the epicenter of the tectonic quake is located northeast of Hernani town in eastern Samar. It has a depth of focus of 7 kilometers. Intensity 5 was recorded in Hernani and Llorente towns in eastern Samar, while Intensity 4 was recorded in General MacArthur, Balangkayan, Maydolong, Salcedo, and the city of Borongan in eastern Samar. The PHIVOLCS cautions that damages and aftershocks may occur from the quake. However, PHIVOLCS says there is no tsunami threat from the quake. A cargo vessel catches fire off an anchorage area of Castilla Town in Sorsogon on Thursday. According to the Philippine Coast Guard, MV Ken was anchored when the fire started in its mess hall around 11 a.m. All the ship's 8 crew on board are in good physical condition. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. After China accused the Philippines of intrusion, the Department of Foreign Affairs insists that it is China that is intruding in Philippine waters. DFA says 2 Filipino doctors successfully exited the Gaza Strip through the Rafah border crossing. And SLEX and MCX toll to increase starting tomorrow, November 3. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.